Out there on YouTube land. This is Rockin' Dave from Southwest Florida. I just finished my gig in at Tarp Run Lodge in Pine Island Road, or Pine Island, in the town Pine Island. It's 9:30, Thursday, May 24th. And this is what these roads look like in the dark. You probably see me driving down snaky roads when it was raining and that. Well, that's what it looks like during the day. But a lot of roads down here in Southwest Florida are like this, back roads. And I want you to see what we see. That area over there, that's part of, actually that's part of the Gulf. I guess that's, I don't know, a river, a pond, whatever the hell they want to call it, a little lake. But it leads all the way out to the Gulf of Mexico. It's kind of hard to see because it is dark. There's some lights way back there, but that's, you know, that leads out to the Gulf of Mexico. So this is why we got to be really cautious here. Because now I have not seen them here and up close. But the area does have alligators. And it's not like they're going to come out and attack you and anything like that, you know, unless they're hungry or you mess with them. But sometimes they'll be on the road and you don't really see them. And this is from what the locals have told me, that you run over them and they, you know, their skin is real thick. So when you run over them, man, you blow out your tires. So, okay, right there, you see right there? There is like massive puddles. So sometimes smaller alligators could be just sitting in there. Again, I have not seen any, but you know what? I'm not gonna go out and find out. And you know, we got snakes down here and like water markets and that. So, but anyways, so see how these roads are turning? The only lights I have is the headlights. Something. Ooh, look at that. There's a creature there. Oh, maybe it's a possum. I know I've seen not an anteater, an antler, or something like that. I forget what the hell you call it. Stuff that we see down here, we don't see up in Illinois because it's all tropical down here, you know. But see, look at the roads. These are the roads. Now, we get what's called swamp fog down here, and when we get that, oh man, is it tough to see. You got to be careful because, okay, these are the roads, but off of the road, off to the side, we have ditches, and you don't know how deep those ditches are. And a lot of the ground, the dirt here, it's not really hard dirt, it's sand. So they always recommend, if you have to pull over, at least keep 2 of your tires on your car, keep 2 of your tires on solid pavement, because if you pull off altogether, your car could sink a little bit. Now you're stuck. So, yeah, see, look at this. Okay, we're gonna turn again. So, you know, we have some lights here. This will go off to part of the, I mean, really, right past those 2 lights is like a little gate area, and it literally goes right into the ocean there. I mean, it's like literally you could walk right into it. Okay, I'm trying not to move this camera too quick. I want, you know, I don't want to give people like, you know, seasickness or, you know what I mean, motion sickness. So see, look at this. That's why, and look how wide the road is. That's why they have the sign, speed limit 30 miles an hour. There are times people come down here literally with their boats. Okay, I'm sorry guys. I gotta get this, my mirror, I mean my windshield's getting a little bit foggy. There. Okay, so see, okay, I'm gonna back up a little bit because there's a side road. Check this out. I know you can't see that, but there's a side road there. That's how dark it is. That's how dark it gets down here. So you see, you gotta be real careful. Gotta be really, really careful, because sometimes people, this part of town, you know, people use a little common sense, so they'll actually dress for it, meaning they'll wear like a yellow vest or something yellow, something reflective, so you can see them. But some people, they don't. So okay, so off to the side here, you probably cannot see it. I'm gonna shine my, but you see right there, that dips. That right there is about a 3-foot dip right there, and that'll tip over any SUV or RV or anything like that. You'll tip over, man. So you got to be careful down here. Tell you what, the good thing I never drank, never had a hangover, nothing like that. Because if I was a drinker, man, I'd have to really be careful. Okay. Some of these roads, the way they turn and twine and twist, remind me a little bit of back up in Illinois. We'd go to Starved Rock, and you had a lot of twisting roads. So it's the same. It's really the same concept, you know. This isn't the only place where there's places like this, but the only difference is the climate being so warm. Okay, look at it. Look how this road turns. You don't know who's coming around the corner there. So that's why you gotta be cautious. But what I was gonna say, the difference with down here is this is the tropics, and we do have wildlife down here. So you don't want to run into any of the alligators or anything like that. You know, you don't want to chance anything, because you don't know. And who's gonna hear you? Look, you could scream all you want, right? Who's gonna hear you? See? So I wanted people to see this. I have to have my wipers on because my windows are getting a little bit foggy there. So this is, I'm coming up on one of the main roads. I forget the name of the road here, but this road, I'm gonna make a right turn, and it's gonna take me right into Pine Island Road, which I take that road all the way to Tamiami Trail, which is, and I make a left, and we live right off of Tamiami Trail. Okay. So see, maybe you could see how the dark, look at that, darkness. This is a main road. So you have to be careful. There's someone coming down here. Okay guys, I'm sorry about that. Turning the phone real quick. So you see? Okay. Now I'm on one of the main roads here. But you see how wide it is? It's just one lane each side. There are areas where it'll branch open a little bit. But you see? So this is what Florida looks like at night. Southwest Florida. You know, the areas where it's not a heavily metropolis area, you know? You got a lot of little towns like this. A lot of countryside down here. Tropics and countryside. Okay, that speed limit is 55, that sign says. Actually doing less than 55. But this is why you gotta be aware. So when you're done playing a gig and you're tired and you gotta drive, you gotta be aware, man. This is why in some of my video lessons, my how to do, and the live chat and, you know, real life gigs, this is what it's really like. And that's why you have to be aware of all your surroundings. And when I drive, normally I never have the radio on. Once in a while I do. Because I like to be aware of my surroundings. We're still new down here. You know, we haven't been down here a year. So there's certain things that we want to make sure that we get used to before we really say, ah, we're home, you know? Which I am starting more and more to get the feeling of just being home. It does take time. when you relocate to a different area, you have to be aware of two things. There's two sides of when you relocate. One side is, okay, you're the new kid in town and you're the new sensation. Okay, that's a positive side right there. That works in your behalf. But here comes the negative. You're the new kid in town, and now the locals will kind of get together and say, hey, you know, this guy is, I don't want this guy to take our gigs, you know, so, you know. And I'm not saying that's what they all do down here, because there's a lot of nice people. But, and I'm not knocking them. But what I'm saying is, nobody wants someone to come in and take their job. And that's basically what it is when you relocate. So, okay, now we're getting more and more traffic coming our way. There's a guy kind of right in my tail here. Okay, he backed down. Okay, yeah, the road doesn't open up. Somewhere back here it does. You know, again, so most of it, see, it's 2 lanes. My side and your side. People, but it is good that you see this. So you see, when you're doing the gigs, you're the musician performing. Well, first you drive to the gig, then you're setting up for the gig. Then if you're lucky, you get a sound check. Okay, here comes Pine Island Road. This is where I'm gonna turn left. Then you do your performance. Then after your performance, guess what? You have to tear down. See, everything takes time. There's a Circle K Shell gas station. Let's see if this guy's gonna let me turn. Alright, thanks, buddy. Okay, so now we're on Pine Island Road. See, look. We're coming to a town called Matlacha. It's like, this is the first time I'm able to pronounce it, Matlacha. So like I was saying, then you tear down the gear and you pack it up into the car and you gotta drive. All this it takes wear and tear on your body. So this is a side that everyone needs to see and they need to understand. So when you see people playing, if they look like they're tired, chances are they are tired. Try to understand, you know. And then for people who don't play and you think all we do is sit around, oh yeah, you played for a few hours, you get a couple $100. Oh yeah, and it is nice, don't get me wrong. But here's the reality. It's not just that day or that show you're just playing. You're practicing earlier. Look at all the time that you put into it. And then when you go to buy gear, this is another thing. I favor a lot of the inexpensive gear. Don't get me wrong, I like the high-end stuff. But very seldom do I bring out my Gibson Les Paul. Let alone something that's exclusively custom made that will run into tens of thousands of dollars. There's no way. It's hot down here. It's humid. Your dew point, when your dew point is at the same temperature as your air temperature, is going to be hot. It could be 76 degrees, and if that dew point is around 74, 75 degrees, guess what? It's going to be hot. So look at this. 2-lane road. Gotta be aware. No street lights, you notice, right? A lot of countryside on both sides, see? Trees, grass. You don't know what's in there, do you? See, I'm not saying you're gonna run into this all the time, okay? But what I'm saying is, and there is animal control, but there are signs in some of these road that say Panther Crossing. So there's panthers down here. I guess there's bears I've never seen. The only bears I've ever seen besides the zoo was the Chicago Bears. There's all kind of wildlife down here. So you cannot be blasting the radio, you know, being obnoxious. You really got to be aware of your surroundings, man. Otherwise, this is why people get into accidents. Oh, and then when you're by yourself driving, you got to make sure you don't fall asleep. That's one of the reasons why people will veer off into the road, hit a ditch, and boom, they die. Okay, so a sign back there did say 30 miles an hour. So this is a little town here. I think this is Matlacha. And there's little shops and like little hotels and that. And then look, water. There's the ocean. Water. Water. Little motel. I mean, it's nice down here. It's just, it's unbelievable. So we have building structures to on each side, like little tiny, small places. Really cool. Really, really cool places. And then behind all that, water. I think I mentioned the sharks in the water too. See, I have to get used to, that is not Lake Michigan. This is the ocean. There's sharks and alligators. Okay, we're coming across this bridge and there's a lot of people that hang out and they fish. Let's see if I can see. Okay. Okay, they do night fishing. Here's a couple of people out there. Yeah, see? These people, they're getting ready to fish. And some people, yeah. A lot of them all, you know, young kids too. Got like young girls, teenage boys. The boats are out there. They're all fishing. Okay, so here we go. There's a little pub over here called Brett's. But you never hear the bands, but they have bands here. Yeah. Bert's, that's what it's called, Bert's. Bert's. Okay, so you see? Look at this. But all these people, they go off to the side and they go fishing. Okay, now the road's gonna turn again. Okay. So you see? I know this might be like a kind of a long video that I'm doing, but I just want people to see what our new home is like down here. And it's so weird because look how narrow these streets are. You get used to this. You will get used to this as a guy dragging, you know, hauling a boat. A lot of night fishing, night boating. Now where this road is going to turn, usually to the side, there's a lot of cars that are parked. See if I can get them. Yeah, see? Not too many. Usually there's a lot more than this. Okay. Rolling up the window, guys. But you see, this is what Florida is like, and it's great. It is really nice down here. When I start getting to the street lights, it's going to open up to more of the town, so then I can stop the video. But this stretch right here, you need to see, because if you ever come down here, you know, you got to be aware. Matlacha Island. That's what it's called, Matlacha Island. Okay, guys. So now we're going to get up to more of the populated still, it's like not like in the bigger towns or bigger cities or anything like that. There was a lot more people in Aurora and Naperville area where we used to live than the in-town down here. I mean, I guess if for people in Illinois, this would be like going out to Yorkville. And still Yorkville's more populated, it seems. Alright, my friends, I just wanted you to see that. It's Rockin' Dave, Southwest Florida. Real live gigs, coming back from my gig. We got another one tomorrow night. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all your support. It's very much appreciated. Until next time, hold those doors open for everybody, like Ben Coombs, the great Canadian guitarist philosopher, always says. Okay, my friends, stay safe out there and God bless.